Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm Stuart Simpson. I'm the Training Director here at Smart Local 47 Training Center. I'll be your MC for this morning. Please bear with me. I don't do this very often. Little housekeeping. We will have media availability at the end of the prepared remarks, so please hold your questions until then. Also, there are bathrooms through that door over there and through that door to the right. And if there's an emergency, fastest exit is through that door or that door. Before we proceed today, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the land on which we gather today and acknowledge that this event is taking place on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation, whose presence here reaches back to time immemorial. J'aimerais commencer par souligner que nous sommes réunis sur le territoire traditionnel de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe. Now, there's important people in this room that I would like to take a moment to acknowledge their presence, because without them, we would not be here today. First and foremost, I'd like to have a warm welcome for the Minister of Jobs and Families, the Honourable Stephen MacKinnon. Thank you, sir. Minister MacKinnon's presence here today underscores the government's commitment and the advancement of our workforce and the realization of a sustainable future. Our apprentices are our tomorrow, and they are looking after us hands down. We also have Sean Strickland, the Executive Director of Canada's Building Trades Unions. We have Jack Wall, our Director of Canadian Affairs for SMART. It's always a pleasure to see you, Jack. We've also got Brent James, who is our Business Manager for Smart Local 47. As well as many other colleagues and representatives from our building trades family who will benefit from the announcement we're going to have today. Without further ado, it is my privilege to invite Minister MacKinnon to the podium to make his announcement. Minister, welcome to Smart Local 47.
Thanks very much. And thank you to Smart Local 47 for having us. I mean, look at this place. It's incredible. And 17,000 new square feet on the way, I'm told.
6 weeks.
That's pretty good. You'll probably get some good people to do the roof.
We might know one or two.
Mais bon matin tout le monde. I want to shout out to my colleagues Mona Fortier and Yasser Nakvi for accompanying me here today, and it's something that they've fought for a long time, something that a lot of people have fought for a long time. And we're here with some extremely good news for building tradespeople right across this country, something that's going to positively affect a lot of families, a lot of people, and a lot of people's lives. Donc, quel plaisir d'être avec vous aujourd'hui. J'aimerais tout d'abord vous remercier de votre chaleureuse introduction et merci au local 47, Smart 47, pour nous avoir accueillis aujourd'hui. This is an incredible place, and from the machinery on site to the sheer size of this place, it's no wonder Canada is home to the best and most talented, skilled tradesmen and women in the world, and we are. It's also no wonder we're making today's important announcement right here, surrounded by workers and local partners. And a shout out to Councillor Tierney, who's with us today. We are, of course, living in uncertain times, what with all the noise and, yes, contractions pulsating north right now. Perilous times even. That peril and uncertainty is bringing more stress than assurances to businesses and workers across the country. It is hurting our country, and indeed our sectors, all of our sectors' ability to plan ahead. For all that uncertainty, however, one thing has become abundantly clear. We need to forge ahead, make our own path, and secure our own place in the world with partners we can rely on. Les États-Unis, à leur crédit, ont clairement indiqué qu'ils ne sont plus ce partenaire et qu'ils ne sont certainement pas dignes de notre confiance. Donc, il faut qu'on fraye notre propre chemin. Et plus encore, ils ont donné un nouvel élan au travail que nous faisons déjà pour renforcer la résilience de notre économie en ce moment. To insulate our workers from outside threats and ensure we are taking steps to develop the strongest pound-for-pound workforce in the G7 and the world, because we will forge ahead, with or without the United States. We have a big task in front of us. We're going to be building in this country. We're going to be building energy infrastructure. We're going to be building roads and bridges. We're going to be building public transit. We are going to be building port facilities, expanding our railroads, creating that trade-enabling infrastructure that underpins a strong economy. And you know what? We're going to be doing it with unionized, skilled tradespeople from coast to coast to coast. And you know what? We're going to choose to build with or without our friends down south, and we will also prevail with or without our friends down south. Today is part of that. How we do that is supporting Made in Canada solutions, taking steps that add more, not less talent to our workforce, building resilience into everything we do, and yes, putting this crisis in the service of lasting, uniquely Canadian change. And we do that by giving Canadian workers, young and old, everything they need to get building, for the jobs today and the ones to come. Si nous voulons construire de nouvelles routes, autoroutes et ponts pour relier nos provinces unies, accroître l'énergie dans les prairies, l'énergie éolienne et solaire dans les maritimes, l'hydroélectricité au Québec et le nucléaire en Ontario. If we're going to erect more ports, runways, and railways to get our natural resources to market from east to west, north to south, we need to put our industrial might and our people to good use. That starts by supporting local union training jobs right here at home, and today we're doing just that. I'm happy to announce, therefore, that we're investing $67 million more in 10 new projects across Canada that will help equip, wait for this, more than 29,000 apprentices and journey persons. That's 29,000 people, 29,000 families, 29,000 pairs of hands that are going to help build this country with the skills they need to support the jobs in the sectors of tomorrow and all the building we must and are undertaking. Donc aujourd'hui, je suis heureux d'annoncer que nous investissons 67 millions de dollars supplémentaires dans 10 nouveaux projets à travers le Canada, ce qui permettra à plus de 29 000 apprentis et compagnons d'acquérir les compétences dont ils ont besoin pour soutenir les emplois et les secteurs de demain, ainsi que tous les projets de construction que nous devons entreprendre et que nous entreprenons actuellement. We're doing this through the Union Training and Innovation Program Sustainable Job Stream under the Canadian Apprenticeship Strategy. Let me just take a minute on this. The deal we always had with skilled trades and unionized skilled trades in this country is we do need to make a shift. Yes, we need to continue to develop our conventional energy sources, but we also, Canada must be at the forefront of renewable technologies, renewable energy technologies, and our deal with union brothers and sisters was you get to be a part of that too. Whether your job is displaced because of it, we obviously want to minimize that and are going to minimize that, or whether you want to create an opportunity for yourself in this new economy, we're going to be there to help you get the skills. CBTU and all of its affiliates were part of making that pact. Bill C-50, the Sustainable Jobs Act, was passed in Parliament with the help of unions across this country, and today we're delivering on that promise, Sean, and I'm really, really proud that we're here today to do it. And this adds to the work we announced in February under the Sustainable Jobs Training Fund, which is helping thousands of workers upgrade or gain new skills. Now, we spent too long in this country telling young people that if they wanted to succeed, they needed to get a university degree. That wasn't true then, and it sure as hell isn't true now. What is true is we need capable and ready talent with the experience and training to help us build the country Canadians expect and that the times demand. We need things and people that connect our provinces, build our economies, give us open trade, and bridge our natural resources to new markets. Nous avons besoin de choses qui relient nos provinces, qui lient nos économies, qui nous permettent d'ouvrir le commerce et qui permettent à nos ressources naturelles d'accéder à de nouveaux marchés. And we need to make it easier to get those things built. That's not to say we don't need architects and engineers, we obviously do. But a blueprint is only as good as the caliber of skilled tradesmen and women who bring it to life. Et alors que le monde se dirige vers la décarbonisation et les nouveaux développements, nous avons plus que jamais besoin d'une main-d'œuvre formée avec l'expérience et le savoir-faire nécessaires pour diriger un avenir plus durable. C'est pourquoi nous investissons près de 1 milliard de dollars en soutien à l'apprentissage chaque année. C'est pourquoi nous soutenons les travailleurs et les étudiants par le biais de prêts, de crédits d'impôt, de prestations d'assurance emploi pendant la formation en milieu scolaire, du financement de projets et du soutien au programme Sceau Rouge. We do this because we understand that increasing net zero construction is key to unlocking Canada's economic potential and our road to a prosperous future. Nous avons la géographie au Canada, les moyens et surtout les hommes et les femmes qui travaillent fort pour traverser la crise dans laquelle nous nous trouvons et qui nous permettent d'accéder aux emplois, aux secteurs et aux économies à venir. We just need to give them a running start. And by investing in sustainable jobs and in local unions, we are doing just that. Vive le Canada, mes amis. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Minister MacKinnon, for this exciting news. I can truly say that you have no idea how much that's going to change our future. We're also joined, I would like to add two people I didn't thank when we first came in, MP Mona Fortier, who's here, and also Councillor Tim Tierney. So thank you both for coming. I've actually had the pleasure of speaking with the Honourable Mona Fortier quite a few times. Honourable Mona Fortier has called me 5 times to tell me how well we've done with our UTEP grants. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to the podium.
And we still have good news today. This is good. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so I hope you can hear me, but it was so important for me to be here with all of you today. Bonjour tout le monde, kwai, hello everyone. C'est vraiment important de vous voir en si grand nombre aujourd'hui. And Minister MacKinnon, thank you as well for being here in the riding of Ottawa-Vanier and making this very important announcement. These jobs matter. And of course, a big thank you to our host, Smart 47, for welcoming us in this incredible space. And we've presented everyone, so I just want to also mention how important it is that we are here to recognize how important, as I said earlier, that these jobs matter. And I also want to say to my friend Yassir Naqvi, who's MP for Ottawa Centre, who joined us this morning with Stephen MacKinnon, that we talk a lot about these jobs, and we're really happy to all be here today and to take part in this announcement. It's really something that will go a long way towards growing Canada's economy and creating well-paying, sustainable jobs for years to come. Nous pouvons déjà affirmer avec grande fierté et confiance que nous avons l'une des main-d'œuvre les plus qualifiées au monde. Mais l'une de nos principales priorités en ce moment est de développer et d'adapter notre main-d'œuvre afin qu'elle soit positionnée pour l'économie verte. Fournir au Canada et au monde des produits respectueux de l'environnement et une énergie à faible empreinte carbone nécessite de nouvelles compétences. Et les projets annoncés aujourd'hui nous aideront à atteindre cet objectif et profiteront à l'ensemble des Canadiens, même ici dans la région de la capitale nationale. We are building and implementing new and better green training programs for apprentices and journey persons in so many key skilled trades like bricklayers, carpenters, insulators, and sheet metal working. This training will be theoretical and it will be hands-on, which is the best way for folks to study and to learn. Ce projet mettra à profit des technologies de pointe afin de préparer les travailleurs aux compétences nécessaires pour utiliser les équipements les plus récents et l'expertise qui aidera le Canada à atteindre son ambitieux objectif de carboneutralité. Et nous sommes très fiers et enthousiastes de contribuer à offrir aux Canadiens les moyens de saisir les nombreuses opportunités de carrière qui s'ouvrent à eux grâce à la transition vers une économie verte. Une économie à faible émission de carbone signifie d'importantes opportunités pour les Canadiens d'obtenir des emplois de qualité, bien rémunérés et durables. Mais pour tirer pleinement parti des opportunités à venir, nous devons renforcer massivement les compétences de demain de notre main-d'œuvre. And so this is why we're driving forward with investments that will ensure Canada makes the most of this generational opportunity to develop a forward-looking and sustainable economy. And thank you again very much for this opportunity to be all with you today. It's good news. Merci. Stuart, to you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Mona Fortier, for those kind words. I'd now like to welcome to the podium Sean Strickland, the Executive Director of Canada's Building Trades Unions. Canada's building trades unions represent 14 international affiliates who have 600,000 union members. That's a number. Across Canada and working on 60 different trades and occupations. Sean?
Well, thank you very much. It's fantastic to be here, and thanks to Smart Local 47 for hosting us today, and thanks to the roofer apprentices who have come out of their classroom to join us here today, and they make the roofers pretty big in Ottawa from the looks of you guys. So thanks so much for being here for our roofer apprentices. Yes, for sure. And I'd like to thank Minister MacKinnon. That was a fantastic speech this morning that you gave, Minister MacKinnon, and your sincerity bore through quite well, and I think it impacted everyone here in the room. And also for this very good news announcement here today. We are not experiencing a lot of good news in Canada these days. It is tumultuous times, and to see this investment, over $60 million in union training centres across the country, is a real vote of confidence in our industry and in Canada's future. So I thank you very much for that, Minister MacKinnon. I'd like to share with you how important UTIP is to our members. If you visit union training centres across the country, and we have over 300 union training centres across the country, and the minister and I do frequently, what you get asked most is, when is the next UTIP streaming coming? And that is a popular question. That's because our training directors, like Stuart, know how valuable union training and innovation program is and how much we appreciate the support of the federal government. Well, I'm glad to be here with my colleagues to say, brothers and sisters, when that next stream of UTIP funding is coming is today. Today's the day where we get that announcement. Thank you, Minister, for your ongoing support and the support of the Government of Canada and the support of the Department as well. Since inception, UTIP has provided our union training centres with incredible opportunities to innovate with the latest equipment to keep our tradespeople at the top of their game. Frankly, the best trained in the world, and we want to ensure that they stay that way. UTIP has also provided tremendous opportunities for those who might not have thought of themselves in well-paid careers as skilled tradespeople. The Union Training and Innovation Program, through its programming streams, has been successful in opening doors for thousands of Indigenous peoples, women, minorities, people of color, LGBTQ+, and all kinds of folks right across this country, to getting them into our union training centres and embarking upon a journey as an apprentice and leading to a lifelong career in the unionized construction industry. Today's announcement will benefit union training centres across the country, the one we are in here today, but also many of our affiliate unions and their education and employer partners. The unionized industry works hand in hand with our employers or contractors. This union hall is managed by a joint apprenticeship training trust, contractors, and unions working together. If our contractors don't go to work, we're not going to work. This is an industry-led initiative. We've come together with our contractors to deliver outstanding projects to prepare the skilled trades workers for the demands of the new clean economy. I also want to touch on the sustainable jobs part of the equation, because it means different things to different people. For the skilled trades, it means having a workforce that's resilient and ready to respond to the evolving needs of Canada's economy. The same skilled trades workers who are working in the oil and gas sector are also the ones building EV battery plants and refurbishing clean nuclear generating stations. Our workers always need to be ready to build whatever the Canadian economy requires, and that is what partly makes jobs sustainable. Whether it's Donald Trump's punishing tariffs or a clean energy revolution, what the Canadian economy needs can change at a moment's notice. To adapt, our workers always need to be sharp on their skills and ready to seize the next opportunity. This is critically important. While tariffs pose a threat, they also present a tremendous opportunity for Canadian workers. With every threat comes an opportunity. We gain a tremendous competitive advantage in the race for a clean economic future if we stay the course and make the right investments in hydrogen, SMRs, nuclear, wind, solar, biomass, and carbon sequestration. We must stay the course now more than ever. And now, more than ever, we have to make sure that no worker gets left behind. The funding the minister has just announced will help our skilled trades workers get ready and stay ready for the clean economic opportunities ahead. Minister, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Sean. That's great news for the skilled trades workers across Canada. Now I'd like to welcome to the podium Jack Wall, our Director of Canadian Affairs for the International Association of Sheet Metal, Air, Rail and Transportation Workers, SMART for short. SMART has more than 230,000 members across North America. Jack, as always, welcome to Local 47.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Again, thank you, Sean, and thank you, Minister MacKinnon. This investment will be a significant boost to our union training centres and the entire skilled trades ecosystem across the country. Particularly with our union partners, we have subject matter experts, our educational institutions, climate, energy, researchers, along with our employers and contractor partners. Our members here in Canada ensure quality of the air we breathe, deliver high-performance energy efficiency, and ensure that factories and industrial projects across the country are built to the higher standards of safety and operational performances. Today's announcement will support SMART and CBTU's joint project, the Greens Future Training Partnership, which will fit a robust pipeline of more than 2,000 sheet metal workers and roofers equipped to meet the challenge of the future clean economy through the state-of-the-art training supported by the Government of Canada. Today's funding announcement reinforces that well-paid, unionized skilled trades jobs in the clean energy are here. Whether that's in clean energy generation, the power grids of the future, high-efficiency heating and cooling, high-performance building retrofits, or simply building with more environmentally friendly materials. Good unionized jobs are the core of the UTIP program. This funding will mean more opportunities for our members across Canada. UTIP funding gives us the competitive edge. This will allow us to grow and stay ahead of the curve. So again, thank you, Minister MacKinnon, for understanding the importance of Canada's skilled tradespeople and investing in their future and Canada's future as well. Thank you.
When they asked me to MC, they didn't tell me it was this much work. All right. All right, Jack, thank you very much for your words. I'd like to welcome Brent James, the business manager of Smart Local 47, to talk about how UTIP has really benefited the training center that we are all in today. Brent?
Thank you, Jack. Thank you for all that are in attendance today. I'm Brent James, and I'm the business manager here at Smart Local 47. Standing in this room, we can see the impact UTIP funding has had on the ability to train our members. The second floor above me, our welding lab, was made possible from UTIP funding. Our swing stage and the Class 4, Class 5, Class 7 forklifts, the roofing equipment, nearly every piece of equipment that you can see has been funded, in part from the monies that Smart, Stuart, our training director, and the team at Smart Local 47 have secured for us through UTIP. The impact that funding like this has on our members has a ripple effect. At our training center specifically, we have improved our safety training here tenfold. Safety training that we used to previously have to outsource, we're now being offered week over week. We went from teaching 2 safety courses to offering nearly 20 courses. We make sure that members are engaging with the equipment and learning how to use it here safely before performing the task on a job site where they are under time constraints and other job site stressors. Thank you again to Minister MacKinnon for understanding the value of investing in skilled tradespeople safety and training, and for empowering Canada's skilled tradespeople to maintain our world-class reputation.
All right. I believe that's it for my part. That's the program. I'd like to turn the podium back over to the minister to answer questions. A reminder that our building trades colleagues will be available after this, and we will be providing a tour. We also have a light lunch and refreshments in our boardroom up front, so those of you who are sticking around, please feel free to network and talk amongst yourselves. Minister MacKinnon?
Bonjour. Question?
Bonjour, M. MacKinnon.
Bonjour, Estelle.
J'espère que vous allez bien. Donc, première question concernant la décision de la Cour fédérale de refuser la certification du recours collectif des fonctionnaires noirs qui se disent victimes de discrimination. Vous représentez la main-d'œuvre, les travailleurs au pays. Oui. J'aimerais vous entendre là-dessus. Les fonctionnaires se disent dévastés. Ils espéraient qu'on reconnaisse finalement les torts qu'ils ont subis et espéraient aussi se faire compenser pour cette situation-là. Donc, quel est le message que vous avez pour les fonctionnaires noirs aujourd'hui?
Évidemment, toute forme de discrimination dans le secteur public au sein du gouvernement est inacceptable. Nous voulons que non seulement que ce soit un lieu de travail libre de discrimination, mais aussi un employeur de choix pour l'ensemble de la diversité canadienne, dont la communauté noire. Je n'ai pas encore lu la décision qui a été rendue hier, je crois. Donc, je n'ai pas encore eu la chance de revoir cela avec mes collègues. Évidemment, moi, Mona, Yasser, on est très au fait de ce qui a été allégué, ou les allégations et les revendications dans cette poursuite. Et j'ose croire que justice sera rendue pour l'ensemble des fonctionnaires qui ont un enjeu de discrimination.
Can I ask you to comment this in English as well?
Obviously, discrimination in any workplace, much less a federal workplace, is unacceptable. We don't accept it. We try and create a climate where not only it is free of discrimination, but where it is an employer of choice for any member of Canadian society. I haven't had a chance to review the decision, but I know that Mona, Yasser, and myself have spent a lot of time talking about this issue with individual public servants. We'll continue to do that, and I know that for legitimate claims of discrimination, that ultimately justice will find a way to be rendered.
J'aimerais aussi avoir votre commentaire au sujet du dernier remaniement ministériel. Il y a plus de 200 groupes qui déplorent l'absence d'un ministère dédié aux femmes, à l'égalité des genres, en mentionnant qu'il s'agit d'une régression, le fait qu'on n'ait pas quelqu'un d'attitré à ce dossier-là. Il y a des critiques aussi concernant le portfolio des aînés qui a disparu. Est-ce que vous pensez qu'on devrait ramener ces portfolios, avoir des personnes dédiées à ces enjeux-là? Et quel est le message que vous avez pour répondre à ces critiques également?
Nous avons été un gouvernement féministe, un gouvernement dévoué à la cause de l'égalité homme-femme. Je sais que le ministre Guilbeault prend très au sérieux son rôle en matière de la condition féminine et les gens peuvent s'attendre à ce que l'on continue sur la même lancée que nous avons entamée il y a 9 ans. L'égalité homme-femme, pour nous, et tout ce qui en découle n'est pas négociable. Pour ce qui est du ministère que j'ai, c'est un tout. Donc, Emploi et Développement social Canada. Les aînés, je suis heureux d'avoir pu servir comme ministre des aînés et la programmation qui s'y rattache est en train de se faire annoncer. On a eu le plaisir d'en annoncer à Gatineau la semaine dernière. Vous pouvez imaginer que l'on prend très au sérieux non seulement les aînés, mais les personnes handicapées et certainement, peut-être principalement, mon rôle très solennel en matière de ministre du Travail.
And in English, what do you respond to those critics? And do you think that these portfolios should come back with a dedicated person?
Our government has spent 9 years fighting for gender equality in this country, and that is not something we will ever negotiate on. We have passed pay equity legislation. We have done just days ago, I signed further provisions that for EI that make life easier for women in this country. We have done that on a daily basis for 9 years, and I know that Minister Guilbeault takes that role very, very seriously. And for my part, whether it's seniors or the handicapped people or, and perhaps especially labor in this country, I take all of the constituent groups who rely on the services of my department extremely seriously.
Puisqu'il y a seulement ma collègue et moi, j'aimerais vous poser une autre question, M. MacKinnon, au sujet du...
You're trading questions, Estelle?
No, we're taking extra.
Yeah, exactly. Donc, concernant le programme de modernisation du versement de la prestation, la sécurité de la vieillesse, il y a des enjeux de main-d'œuvre pour attirer les professionnels clés dans ce projet-là. Le gouvernement qui craint de se retrouver dans une situation difficile à ce niveau-là, ça pourrait entraîner des coûts, des retards. En tant que ministre, qu'est-ce que vous faites pour vous assurer que ce projet-là fonctionne bien, la modernisation du versement de la prestation?
La sécurité de la vieillesse en particulier?
Le projet de modernisation de versement de la prestation, incluant la sécurité de la vieillesse, qu'est-ce que vous faites? Qu'est-ce que vous pouvez apporter pour que ça fonctionne mieux? Parce que ça semble être un peu le chaos au sein du ministère.
Oh, je peux vous assurer du contraire. Nous suivons ce projet-là en particulier pour la sécurité de la vieillesse d'heure en heure. Je tiens imputables les responsables. Je pose les questions à tous les niveaux. Technologie, est-ce que nos travailleurs, est-ce que les fonctionnaires sont prêts à servir la population? Comme vous savez peut-être, le système a été inauguré pour la première fois hier. Le portail, si je ne m'abuse, pour le public, que j'ose croire le public va apprécier de par sa facilité comparée à l'ancien système, et maintenant live. Vous savez, nous parlons à des fonctionnaires à tous les jours. Il y a 9 ans, ils nous disaient à quel point les systèmes TI de l'ensemble du gouvernement étaient ce qu'on appelle rouillés, rust out, et pas fiables. Nous avons vu pendant la pandémie que nous devions prendre des décisions de politique publique, d'aide aux gens, basées sur nos capacités en TI. On ne veut jamais plus être dans cette situation-là. Et c'est pour ça que nous avons pris la décision d'ouvrir ce vaste chantier qui est la modernisation de nos TI. Je ne suis pas sans savoir que ça demande des ajustements et oui, des risques. Mais nous sommes à éliminer l'ensemble des risques et à mesurer étape par étape les choses qui doivent maintenant avoir lieu pour que les Canadiens puissent se fier à un système de technologie gouvernementale qui va les servir de façon fiable.
Merci, je vous laisse à ma collègue maintenant.
Minister MacKinnon, Judy Trin with CTV News. Given that Prime Minister Carney is coming under a lot of pressure in regards to disclosing his dealings with Brookfield, we know today from Bloomberg that he has assets of between $6 to $8 million. Would you encourage him to disclose and be transparent in regards to whether or not there are any conflicts of interest? He is a political neophyte, so perhaps he's not used to asking very harsh and sometimes very deliberate and concentrated questions. Given the fact that he's going to be facing this throughout the election, would you think it's wise for him to disclose any possible conflicts or just be transparent to Canadians right away?
Well, we are in a unique circumstance where Mr. Carney was only recently elected leader of the Liberal Party and comes from outside Parliament. He is one of those people that we always want to encourage to get involved in public life. There are rules. Mona, Yasser, and I all live by the same rules, and they are fundamental. We disclose our debts, our assets, whatever they may be. Those are handed to the Ethics Commissioner. They are poured through. Measures are taken if and when that is required to mitigate any potential conflicts, and then those assets are disclosed. That is a process that can take up to several months, and Mr. Carney got a head start on that process by filing, I believe, 2 months prior to the time where he had to file those assets and put all of his assets into a blind trust. So therefore, he has not only complied but exceeded the compliance requirements for someone in his position. I think Canadians should be very reassured that Canada has the strictest ethics regime for public officials of any country I know. We can't trade stocks, we can't take decisions that in any way are seen to or do benefit our personal position. And I'm very comforted that Mr. Carney has not only complied, but complied well in advance of the requirements.
En français, s'il vous plaît.
Oh. OK. Nous voulons encourager des gens accomplis en politique. Et nous nous retrouvons dans une situation très unique où M. Carney vient d'être élu chef du Parti libéral et qu'il n'a pas été député au Parlement avant ses débuts en politique. Au Canada, nous avons un régime qui exige de moi, de Mona, de Yasser, de l'ensemble des députés, peu importe leur allégeance, de divulguer nos actifs, nos dettes et tout ce qui peut représenter aux yeux de la loi et des règlements un conflit potentiel. Ensuite, il y a un processus de tri avec le commissaire à l'éthique et ensuite une divulgation complète de la chose pour l'ensemble des députés. M. Carney, comme chacun d'entre nous, à un certain temps avant de déposer cette déclaration, il a non seulement dépassé les exigences minimales, mais il l'a fait 2 mois à l'avance. Donc, nous avons un des régimes les plus stricts du monde entier en matière d'éthique. Les Canadiens devraient être très réconfortés que c'est un système qui demande une assiduité, qui demande de la transparence et qui demande une déclaration publique. C'est ce qui va arriver dans le cas présent.
In regards to, as you know, Minister, Chinese tariffs on canola will hit 100% by Thursday. There are concerns within Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan that the federal government is not doing enough to help canola farmers get through this. What is the government doing in terms of helping canola farmers deal with tariffs, not just from the U.S., but from China, which has been ongoing for several years?
Well, the first thing is tariffs are a bad idea. But tariffs are based, as they are in the case of Chinese EVs or Chinese steel and aluminum, on established trade rules, WTO trade rules. So when Canada applies tariffs, they are justified under those rules. These canola tariffs are unjustified, and we'll be fighting against them. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with Canadian canola farmers and pulse crop growers and others to make sure that we have their back. We've already outlined a $1 billion loan facility through Farm Credit Corporation to assist them. I know that Minister Cody Blois is meeting with representatives of that sector. He will continue to do so, and Canada will never stop fighting on behalf of our agriculture community and specifically canola farmers.
Today's announcement, which is a positive announcement, but seems geared towards workers in Ontario and Quebec. I'm wondering about why the government is not crafting a strategy to deal with Alberta, the concerns in Alberta in regards to oil and gas workers.
Hi. The announcement today across various unions is a pan-Canadian announcement. So there's support there for unions from British Columbia to Newfoundland and Labrador. So all unions in the announcement have programming modules that focus on different aspects of the industry right across the country.
Will the jobs, these sustainable jobs, are they disproportionately geared towards Quebec and Ontario?
Well, in Quebec, they have a different model with respect to the funding for these types of initiatives. And so I don't believe there are any Quebec unions involved. And I know in our program, the Quebec union does have an opportunity through SMART to participate in the program. But I don't think for the bulk of the announcement, it is right across the country. Quebec is a special case, as you know, with respect to funding, and they look after all their funding for training through the province and through a revenue sharing agreement with the federal government. So in terms of the announcement, and to your point, there is support there for oil and gas sector workers in Alberta. There's support there for infrastructure workers in British Columbia. There's support there for electrical workers. There's a Western alliance of electrical workers, including the Prairie provinces of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. So it is a pan-Canadian initiative. Quebec's a special case, but it is a pan-Canadian initiative to help workers right across the country.
So, Minister MacKinnon, if you could just address whether or not you feel the federal government perhaps needs to have a more robust effort in terms of convincing Albertans and Saskatchewanians in regards to the fact that the federal government has their back, given the fact that we may want them to use energy and potash as a leverage if this trade war persists.
Well, thank you for that. The whole premise of this component of UTIP, and there are other components of UTIP, perhaps geared more to conventional industry and conventional endeavors like the ones you're talking about. But the whole premise here is that we will leave no worker, no Alberta worker, no Saskatchewan worker behind if the energy and other transformations should threaten their livelihood. That's the whole idea here. We passed a bill, C-50, the Sustainable Jobs Act, that establishes those principles very clearly. We've worked with the building trades. We do work in Quebec. Quebec is not part of this announcement today, to make that so in facilities just like this one right across Canada. So this is, as Sean says, a national program and maybe even one that specifically or disproportionately targets workers who could be affected by the energy transformation. More generally, we built a pipeline. We have said clearly that we are going to require more renewable energy in this country, but also more conventional energy in this country. That is going to mean more opportunity in Western Canada for skilled trades workers. I meet regularly with the Western shippers, just to give you one example, who tell me every time we meet about the bottlenecks and the kinds of things that could be unlocked in terms of Canada's potential, building things, if we were to make some critical changes in terms of our supply chains, our ports, and so on, as you heard me talk about. This is going to be a revolution in this country. We need more skilled workers. I don't know how I can say that more plainly. We are going to get there working shoulder to shoulder with skilled trade workers and their unions, and the best people to deliver on that are the people who train in facilities just like this one and get people, as you heard, the safety training, the apprenticeship training, so that we can deploy them. They can enjoy a good middle-class livelihood. But if you're looking for a core vision, today and in the coming weeks, you're going to be hearing us talk a lot about that and the opportunities that are going to come from and for skilled tradespeople in this country.
Steve, could I just add to that?
Yep.
So if I just may, I'd just like to add to that, specifically to Alberta. So Alberta right now is going through an energy transformation. There is massive investments occurring with Dow Chemicals, with Air Products. Strathcona, through the Canada Growth Fund, has also committed to investing billions of dollars for carbon sequestration. Dow is a polyethylene plant where it's a cracker plant, very sophisticated, but it is also a carbon sequestration initiative. So the investment in Alberta, if you talk to anyone in Alberta right now, the investment is unprecedented in the last 15 to 20 years, and largely due to the investment tax credits that this government announced 18 months ago to encourage investment in the green technologies of SMRs. Alberta's talking about small modular reactors. Saskatchewan's talking about small modular reactors. So for Dow Chemicals, for example, on a project that's worth over $6 billion, by using union prevailing wage and making a commitment to apprenticeship, they're able to get a 30% tax credit. So this government program is working and is helping Alberta specifically through this energy transition.
J'aurais une question pour Madame Fortier. Est-ce que vous pourriez venir répondre au micro? Oui, Madame Fortier, merci. Bonjour. J'aimerais aussi entendre votre commentaire au sujet du recours collectif des fonctionnaires noirs. Vous avez été président du Conseil du Trésor, vous représentez de nombreux fonctionnaires en étant député d'Ottawa-Vanier. Quel est le message que vous avez pour ces personnes qui se disent déçues de cette décision de refuser la certification du recours collectif et qui espéraient avoir justice finalement dans ce dossier-là?
Bien, merci pour la question. Ça fait quand même 5 ans que ce recours est en cours et qui a pris de l'expansion. La juge a dû prendre une décision et cette décision fait en sorte que je pense qu'on va pouvoir voir qu'est-ce qui se passe et le gouvernement va pouvoir l'analyser. Entre-temps, il faut dire que le gouvernement a investi beaucoup depuis 5 ans pour soutenir les travailleurs, les fonctionnaires dans la fonction publique, surtout avec l'investissement de 50 millions de dollars qui avait été fait pour le fonds de santé pour les fonctionnaires noirs qui est en cours aussi présentement. Je sais que j'ai eu le privilège d'avoir une discussion avec la ministre responsable, donc la présidente du Conseil du Trésor, pour voir où s'était rendu ce programme, parce qu'il faut quand même continuer à s'assurer qu'il n'y ait pas de discrimination qui se passe dans la fonction publique. Donc, ces programmes, ces investissements se poursuivent et il y a beaucoup de tables qui existent à l'intérieur de la fonction publique pour trouver ces solutions, ces mécanismes pour s'assurer une pleine participation des fonctionnaires qui viennent de partout, mais surtout aussi avec la question qui se posait pour les fonctionnaires noirs.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci tout le monde. Thanks everyone for being here.